Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do I just woke up this morning and I wanted to do a makeup look that just makes me happy, something that's just, I just wanted to do something fun or just something vibrant, and I thought I can't be like the only person who wakes up and wants to feels like that. So I thought it would be kind of cool to do a video on how to wear some colour, especially on the eyes, and I thought the best thing I could do is pick the brightest colour that I have out of my makeup collection, which happens to be this yellow pigment. It's actually a body pigment powder from Inglot, and I thought I want to be able to show you guys, because you guys know I'm all about wearable, soft, pretty makeup. I rarely ever go for anything dramatic because I prefer that on myself, and I prefer that on others as well, unless it's like the Met Gala or something something fun. But yeah, that's just like, everyone has their style. That's my kind of style. So I wanted to show you guys a way to wear yellow eyeshadow, for example, and make that easy and really like foolproof way to wear it. I've done my eyebrows because actually I did the nursery run this morning, so I had to put on some eyebrows because otherwise I just look completely crazy. So I'm using the NARS concealer in Ginger, and I'm just going to take some of this on a flat brush. Look at me, all organised now that I have my little, like, I cleaned up my space. That video should already, hopefully that will be up. I'm not sure. I never know the order of my videos. I really should. I'm just taking this on a Real Techniques brush. This is actually a foundation brush, and I'm just going to apply a thin layer, mostly on the lid. And now normally you will not see me do this because most of the time the eyeshadows that I wear are really, really wearable eyeshadows that even if they fade, it's fine. But if you're gonna wear something bold and something with color, like something bright like yellow, you really don't want it to fade. You want it to stay vibrant, because the minute it starts fading, it can kind of distort the whole look. So that's why I'm putting down a bit of a base, and this is a good concealer to use as an eyeshadow primer. Not all concealers will work as eyeshadow primers, but this one I find really works because it's more of a cream. It's not too heavy that it's gonna crease. Grab some translucent, well, this isn't translucent, this is actually a yellow tone powder from Soap and Glory, but I'm just going to make sure there's no lines or creases, and just take a small amount and push that over the skin. I'm going to zoom you guys in nice and close today. I might end up cutting off my head, but just so you guys can see. And by putting powder on top, just like with anywhere else on the face, it's just going to help set it, avoid any oils from the eyelid kind of coming through, and it just gives you a smoother base for eyeshadow application, which, like I said, day to day and for most of my makeup looks I don't tend to really bother with, but on this occasion we are. Now I'm actually going to go in straight in with the yellow pigment. I'm not going to put anything else down, any cream. So it is super bright. It's like an acid yellow kind of shade. It's not even an easy wearable goldy yellow. So I'm going to grab a synthetic brush. Now the body pigment powders from Inglot, they're a little bit more powdery than say a normal pigment would be, but yeah, you can use like a mixing medium, but I don't have any, and I'm just going to go straight in. It's important when you're using like these bold colors, especially because they're not very forgiving, so it's not like a smoky brown or a gold or anything like that. So you've got to make sure you cover as evenly as you can the whole lid space, and try and apply the eyeshadow with your eyes open, so you can apply it, you can see exactly where your socket is, and make sure that that area is all covered. Now that the yellow is down, I'm actually going to take one of my favourite neutral palettes, and this is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Honestly, it's like one of the best investments in a palette. It's not super cheap and it's not really high end in my opinion anyway, so yeah, it's a really good one to have. I'm gonna use a mixture of this kind of cool toned brown and maybe hit it with this hint of this peach as well. Nice tapered blending brush. Just pick up some of that brown, and I'm gonna make sure I'm looking straight ahead, and I'm gonna just let this do all the work for me and pop it right here, right above this. Instantly it's made it less dramatic by adding that brown in. So I'm just going to take a little bit more. So now I'm going to just do a very thin as I can line. I don't want it to be smoky, I just want a nice clean kind of liquid line, I guess. I've got two Beauty Pie eyeliners, one's a gel liner and one's a kind of pen eyeliner. I'm gonna go, I think, try the pen eyeliner, see how that works, and just do a nice thin line, because the minute this black touches my eyelid, it's going to show exactly where I've applied the liner. So I just want to do a nice thin. Pen is dragging a little bit too much for my liking, so I'm going to actually switch to the gel liner instead from Beauty Pie. Sorry if the view's changed, camera died, had to recharge in between, got really hungry, made some like packet, like these Chinese or Malaysian like noodles. So yeah, I had to buff out one side of my concealer, but the other side I left there so I could film that. But I think by now it probably isn't going to move very well, so I'm going to have to use my finger. But yeah, this is one of my favourite brushes to blend out concealer and just make it look nice and airbrushed. I don't like that word, but just nice and kind of seamless under there and natural, and not like there's a lot of product sitting under there. But you can see that Becca highlighter is still there, there's still some brightness under there. This is why I don't wear eyeliner anymore, because I don't really have the patience for it. So what I've done is made sure I'm just done like it was meant to be thin line, ended up being kind of like a medium to thin line, but I've not done any flick. I've not taken it too far in the very corners of my eyes, because my eyes droop down, so if I was to do that they would look even more droopy. They kind of do a little bit right now, but it's fine. I'm gonna put on some mascara is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to see if I want to add some individual lashes. So I'm going to use mascara of the moment right now is still my Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes mascara, and you'll see with yellow eyeshadow as the background, the minute you put on mascara it stands out more than it would if it was any other kind of shade. So I'm actually going to use a under eye brightening corrector. I've not used this for a while. This is the Becca one, and when you look at it, it can look really intimidating because it's like this light pink, really light peach pinky shade, but you just need the tiniest amount, and I actually take this on my finger, like the tiniest amount, and it is literally going to brighten up the under eye, and it looks really scary right now. Definitely not something that I use day to day or would use on everyone, but I saw it in my drawer and I thought I do not use you enough, so I'm going to use this, especially as I'm doing quite a vibrant look. I just want my base to be really flawless, and especially with bright colours on the eyelid, you want your base to be as perfect as you can get it. Obviously I still want to keep this look wearable for you guys, so I just wanted to show you guys how to use this. So it's crazy bright under here. It's like you've used like kind of white concealer. But the minute I pop on my concealer and my foundation, it will just honestly melt completely. Now for foundation, I want to keep the base quite dewy but still good coverage. So I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation. This is the shade Warm Natural 4.5, and I'm going to take, it's really, really watery. I'm going to take that with my Beauty Pie brush, and I'm just going to start in the center and work outwards. And by starting in the center, I kind of get most of the coverage where I need it, so I end up using less foundation. My base is less heavy, but it still looks kind of as flawless as I can get it. Rather than kind of starting with my foundation like on the sides and all of that, like I end up wearing a lot more foundation than I need. So if you find that happens, try starting your foundation in the center of your face where most of us get the pigmentation, discoloration, anything like that, and then work it towards the kind of outside perimeter of your face. Will mean that it just looks more natural. I normally tend to I don't even put foundation on my forehead, but whatever's left, I'm just going to take that on there. Is my Fenty. This is the shade 290. I actually also bought the shade 300, but this 290 shade is a little bit brighter. So I'm gonna pop that on straight over. I'm gonna use the Real Technique. Both of these changed. Camera died, had to recharge. In between, got really, really hungry. Made some like packet, like these Chinese or Malaysian like noodles. So yeah, I had to buff out one side of my concealer, but the other side I left there so I could film that. But I think by now it probably isn't going to move very well, so I'm going to have to use my finger. But yeah, this is one of my favourite brushes to blend out concealer. But you can see that Becca highlighter is still there. There's still some brightness under there. But the concealer has nicely sat on top. I also in the meantime applied some false lashes. I use these Victorious lashes that I think I've mentioned before as well, and just some duo glue, and you won't see properly until I load them up with mascara. But I kind of like them like looking like natural-ish, but I'm just gonna pop just a little bit. I'm gonna actually set my under eye. Oh no, who am I? Right, I'm gonna add a little bit of cream bronzer to my skin, which is looking pretty flat right now. I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Tan Tool in the shade medium. The review or first impressions of this is already on my channel, so, and honestly, since I've had this, I genuinely have not put it down. So I've been using this brush, which is perfect for it if you don't want to buy the Huda Beauty brush. This is the sculpting brush. Dip into the product, I mush it in here just to kind of spread it on the brush, and then I just press it onto my skin first before I take it on, and I just have been working it firstly like this, applying it where I'm going to need it the most. A little bit on my nose because I'm using it again like a bronzer rather than a contour, which is why I'm being a bit haphazard with it. But I love this product. Like, it takes no effort whatsoever to blend this out, so I really love it. I'm going to use the lip and cheek stick, and this is from Milk Makeup, and it's in the shade Perk. And I'm just going to take that actually on my finger, so, and apply that to apple of my cheek and melt it back into the bronzer. I love cream products, and really the only thing that was missing from my collection was a really good cream bronzer, and this Huda Beauty one, like, it is making me want to try some of her other products, I have to say. like her base products and her concealers and stuff, because I've kind of just like written them off not for me and not really going to be flattering for someone with my kind of skin texture and, you know, fine lines and all the other stuff that comes with getting older. I'm just going to pop a little bit of NARS's Torrid, which is this really vibrant peachy orange, and it's got lots of flecks of gold. I'm just going to pop that on top, but I kind of want to not overdo it because I want the eyes to be a focus. Put my hair down so I feel like I can always tell better what kind of lip I want to do if my hair's down. It sounds crazy. I'm tempted to just go in with Fenty Gloss Bomb. I think I want something fairly nude but with like a hint of gold or peach, so I feel like this would be perfect. One last thing that I feel like is just missing, so I'm going to take some of that brown eyeshadow that we put in the socket. I'm just going to take that on an angled brush and I'm just going to pop a little bit just on my lower lash line. This is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned maybe a little something. Let me know if you guys have any requests, and in the meantime I will be over on my IG as always, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.